Chapter 5, Activate the Rook, or How to Exploit a Passive Rook. The first example is extremely famous, a real classic of rook endings. Salo Floor, Milan Wiedma, Nottingham 1936. It is given in most books dealing with rook endings. Among them, of course, Mark Dvoretsky's excellent endgame manual. How to defend with black here, and really solve this. Take your time. This is extremely important. Activate the rook. The roles of king and rook must be interchanged. King c7 to free the rook from the defensive purposes to be able to activate it. Really, the rook wants to be active. And now, there's no need to rush with d4 or f4, just prepare f4. This is the line given by Mark Dvoretsky in his endgame manual. So after f4, the rook could come, or now maybe even this, and yeah, it's, with such an active rook, you usually cannot lose. While the king on b7 is a bit passive, but it's not that important. Yeah, this must be a draw. And after rook c3, f4 also provides enough counterplay. This, yeah, also must be a draw. While in the game, Wiedma shows rook b8, and this is wrong. Now we had to go back to passive defense, and how to exploit now the passive rook. This is also important. You should be able to master it. Usually in rook endings, it's bad to have such structural weaknesses. It's better if the pawns are connected and can defend themselves. Yeah, because such weaknesses must be defended by somebody, the king or the rook, and yeah, this is not what you want. In rook endings, you want to be active. And so such pawns are very dangerous in rook endings for the defending side, especially if the rook has to be permanently passive. Now open a second front. Okay, the disadvantage is that this exchanges winning potential, but you must make some progress somehow, and now it is very, very difficult for black. Due to using the principle of two weaknesses, exploiting by Salo Floor. Now black should still be exchanged the roles of the defenders. Wiedma just continues to wait. Not such a good strategy here, of course. Now, yeah, Floor wants to open the road. And now the very last chance to put up resistance. I don't know if it holds or not, but the very last chance is activate the rook. This is still, yeah, this must be played now. It makes no sense to stay passive forever. Then white will break through in textbook fashion, we will see. Yeah, here's the last chance. And I don't know. Black loses a pawn now, but at least his rook is more active. And yeah, this might be won or not, but over the board it's still very difficult to convert such advantage against an active rook. While against black's completely passive army, Floor converted in good style. He prevents every counterplay, even the slightest shade of counterplay now. He has all the time in the world. Black can just wait. And now how to overthrow the defense. First, Floor repeats moves to show who is boss, and now comes a typical way to overthrow such defense. Zwischenschach. And then, whichever side black's king chooses, you choose the other one, and then wait. And then winning due to the space advantage created on the king's side by exploiting the principle of two weaknesses. Here, principle of three weaknesses. Yeah, after king f6 comes a typical, yeah. And now the king waits with decisive effect. Game over. So Wiedma defended with king d6, but rook e8, and it's over. After c5, Floor showed very good technique. Check. And the reason is that the pawn endings here are won for white. Yeah, and the pawn will queen controlling d8 pawns queen square. Game over. Yeah, so it's now decided. As here, black's forces are dominated as black cannot enter a pawn any. So Wiedmar decided to sacrifice a pawn, but it doesn't. Yeah, sacrificing a pawn might be not such a bad idea to activate the forces, but nobody is activated here really. Just white. So Wiedmar resigned. And it's extremely important here. Keeping the rook on a8 and a7 or b6 or forever is not such good concept. It's really too passive there, not mobile enough, no counter-attacking unit. Exchange the roles of the defender. Activate the rook. And such an active rook usually cannot be defeated. The king is a bit passive for the moment, but with that black can live easily.